She is a proud graduate of Harvard University and the University of Georgia, and was recently honored as UGA's 40 Under 40. On a personal note, she values time with her friends and family more than anything. So if we could all get to our seats and give a warm welcome to our keynote for the night, Mikaya Thurmond.
Hey y'all, how are y'all? Can everyone hear me just fine? I know the mic's a little bit lower than the music was. Okay, I'm seeing nods from the back. I'm so glad to be here. How are y'all feeling? I know we got food. I know everyone's got a drink and settle into a seat. I'm only going to take about 3 hours here to tell you. I'm just kidding. You guys are here for the film and the art. I do want to thank Jordan and all of the team that put this together. This weekend is 10 years, everyone. That's a lot of work. It certainly does deserve a round of applause, so I just feel lucky to be here, to be standing with you, sitting with you, and hanging out with you this weekend. So, as you guys just heard, I'm a PR strategist, former TV news anchor. I anchored the morning news for WRAL for about 8 years, and a lot of people have asked me, they've said, Mikaya, why on earth did you leave TV news? Okay, I'm going to give you the answer, right? So, the morning news comes on at 4:30 a.m. That's what time it comes on TV. So that means for the last 8 years, I've woken up at 3 a.m. every single day. So that should answer all the questions that you have as to why I pivoted. But on a serious note, I really am passionate about storytelling, which is what brings me here to the Raleigh Film and Art Festival with you all as that continues. I'm now working for a PR firm that's based in California remotely, so I just feel really fortunate that I still get to call Raleigh my home because it is incredible. So by a show of hands, anybody just raise your hand if you think you know the answer to this. Who knows the theme of this weekend? Okay, go ahead. Do you really? How old are you? She's 7, okay. I think a parent is telling her, no, you don't. Okay, so it is, do you? Okay, go ahead. It is North Carolina Films. Okay, she's not wrong, everybody. Give her a round of applause. She's not wrong. Very cute. Okay, so it is the value of free thinking and creativity. All right, I want everyone to sit with that for just a minute. The value of free thinking and creativity. So when I was told that I was the keynote address for this opening night, I was like, gosh, what an interesting topic. Free thinking and creativity in 2022. What do you have to say about that? So by a show of hands, I kind of want to get an idea. I'm going to ask you 2 questions. Just raise your hand. I'm not going to call on you. Tell me who feels like they have mastered the art of free thinking. Raise your hand if you feel confident that you've mastered free thinking. Tough crowd. All right. Okay, now who feels like they have mastered the art of creativity? Raise your hands. Oh, okay. Okay, we have more creatives than free thinkers. We'll come back to that and address that a little bit later. But I just want to tell you that when I first heard that theme, I started doing research. I'm a former journalist. That's exactly what I did. I wanted to see what America thought. This is going to shock you a little bit. So there's a study that says, and this is all according to Adobe data, that looked at how creativity is perceived, and about 75% of Americans feel like they are not living up to their creative potential. Okay, 75%. And guess what? This room looks like we're about at that same point. So about 3/4 of the people in this room feel like, listen, I could be more creative. I could spend more time with free thought. And so with that being said, that's what this weekend is all about. We're looking at films, we're celebrating art, but we're really in a room of people who have mastered free thinking and creativity in some ways, and in other ways they feel like, okay, I've taken a misstep. So I do want to encourage everyone here to find a buddy. Talk about free thinking, talk about creativity. I'm going to get you started here for the next couple of minutes, but I just want you guys to know that is why we're here. We're here to partner. We're here to talk and discuss how we can all be better free thinkers and creativity thinkers as well. And I also want to thank everyone for inviting me. You guys are in for a treat tonight because you're about to enjoy a wonderful film. And Jordan, I will pass it off to you, but I just want to thank you so much for inviting me, and I can't wait to enjoy the rest of this weekend.
Let's give her one more round of applause. Now we're going to be going into our spoken word portion of the evening. So I'm going to bring up D.S. Will to the stage. Let's give him a round of applause.
My motivation piece, it's one of the first pieces I wrote when I moved from New Jersey here to Carolina, and it's been somewhat my mantra, and I hope that you can take something from it as well. It is called Push. As far back as I can remember, I've been pulled from left to right, to where center of attention felt left without right, left hand-me-down compliments that never seemed to fit quite right. So instead of rabbits, we pull all-nighters out of thinking caps, trying to rid ourselves of angles in order to fit in someone else's social circle. Imagine 360 degrees of separation push you to the outskirts, but without hurt, it would have been impossible for us to right all the pain that we had left, so we push through the right of ways, and we become determined that our forward process will depend on our progress. So even if you turn us around, it just means that our progress will depend on our forward process. Objects may appear to be a bit closer than most, so we rock 3D rear view mirror glasses to know what we have left. Stuck in neutral. Push as our thoughts continue to screw us over like a jump off on hump day, but some days I'm waiting for the checkered flag so someone can wave at me. We push through the brick wall and use the remains to construct a school of thought so our words can play outside of recess. But don't you get tired of pressing the reset button in this game of life? So I push through the glass ceiling to make sure my shards are as sharp as my wit. You see, Dad, he told me to hit him hard and him often. Continue to utilize these punchlines to make this hard life soften. See, that would be the key for me to free verse. Continue to serve this food for thought on a silver platter, but we refuse to be unknown butlers in anyone's mansion. So I need all of you to push as if there isn't an option for a C-section. Because even when you don't feel whole, never let the world just see you in sections. I'd rather you spit to your saliva glands burst open and the remains of the ocean, making you forget that the sea has sections. Because if I didn't capture your attention with the first AB, or the second AB, or the third AB, will you really care by the time we reach the C section? See, let me let you in on a little secret. This isn't a performance, this is a therapy session. Every time that the ink bust from Original Thoughts Inky Bust, I swear us artists have to pierce ourselves, let the blood hit the stage, and you realize that there's ink in us. And it creates a Rorschach, so what do you see? I see those pushing as if their life was scripted by Sapphire, but Lord knows I can't be that precious. But why much suffering be placed on cinema reels and cheap attempts at appearing real? Let's stop sweeping mental anguish underneath a carpet that's labeled taboo, because I can assure you there's a middle ground between the Evans and the Huxtables. Preach about it in these buildings that resemble a Manhattan high-rise, instead of drowning the crowd with incessant talks of tides. Some of our family tides are quite current, and unfortunately, that water isn't used for baptisms. It should be used for nurturing the minds of those who are lost on information highway, looking through those cracked windshields, trying to obtain that third eye vision. But I still see some pushing, avoiding those bad dates with karma until they become Percy Jackson, yielding lightning, putting shine on my space. But I understand when your focus suffers from scoliosis because the spine of your book of life is a bit crooked and debt is on your heels, giving the truest definition of life after death. You pull right when there's nothing left, pull tight when you're loose in Sunday's best, pull over because you're the wrong color, pull under because crabs are considered brothers, pull through because class is a bit too challenging, pull up when the noose begins to fasten. Drop the ED, and some of us are currently still pulling. But if there's one thing that you can take away from this performance, let it be the one-word mantra that the barcode is no longer branded on the back of your neck because you have proven to them that your soul can't be sold. And that's the push.
Yeah. Please give it up for my brother D.S. Will one more time for that powerful piece. So for those who don't know poetry, you feel like you're getting a sense of it right now? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what's up. Would y'all like to hear some more poetry? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So my name is Flo Essence, Sean Harris, but I go by Flo Essence. That's my stage name. It's incredibly honorable to be in front of you here today, performing in front of you, as well as watching this film. And I get to perform with my lovely, beautiful wife, Miss Genesis Harris, who you're gonna hear in just a moment. My brother D.S. Will sparked something. He said mantra, and that kind of inspired me to do this piece. And it's a heavy one, warning. See, this is a black mantra. Black cord screaming out black honor, strapped like Black Panthers on the street wearing that black armor. It's too many of us down. We take more shots than Black Mamba, laid out on the street getting hugged by black mamas. See, this is a needle in the haystack, diamonds in the ghetto. Same brothers find death at the bottom of the barrel. It's a war, that's why we form swords with heavy metals. You attack, we gon' let that hollow flash like a cerro. We would take it from our land, shot with short foreign arrows. Even in the land of Egypt, we were slaves to the Pharaoh. But that's a conversation for another time. I'm trying to get this slave mentality out of my people's minds. We study astrology, but can't even see the signs. Just a bunch of zodiacs who can't read between the lines, or read between the lines, or learn to read between disguises. They smile in our face, but a dagger is what they hiding. Spirit of the wicked is moving in dead silence to disconnect the branches from the tree is their assignment. But I'm still defiant. David versus Goliath. All I need is one stone to kill all of you giants. He who casts the first is the first to die. Power of the tongue, these words will testify. Better check your temperature before you testify, because the flames that I'm spitting burn a hole through your wire. Sharpen up the blade. I live in an era that's bygone. Slicing through mountains, that's a hill you can die on. This a ghetto gospel. You receiving the message? Cut the melanin out of Christ. That's a C-section. Change the complexion so we look at them as our savior. They put their faces on money and have us chasing the paper. Human manual labor got us working for their profit. Feed us to the beast system, but where are the false prophets? The false doctrine. Take us out the hood with no options. Then give us a couple bucks just to keep us all locked in. The rap game is toxic. The cycle of the prison. Meant to keep us in chains, that's why they invest in it. Pay attention to how they use rap gimmicks to paint an image, so when they murder our children, no one sees them as the victim. Blurry vision, but my third eye's able to see. Black roots still tied to the African tree. Israel still sitting where the audience be, where you should be the main ones on the stage with me. But lack of knowledge got you paralyzed, no longer edified. The land you once resides been stolen while they lay in a bed of lies. It's the eye of the watcher, watch the eye of the storm. The one translated from death with no form. The art of conversion is meant to cause inversion between those giving a sermon while the others display uncertain. Like Pac said, it's like us to survive. So it's fists in the air to the day that I die. I'm screaming black mantra. Black cord screaming out black honor. Strapped like Black Panthers on the street wearing that black armor. It's time to start teaching our black sons and black daughters not to be afraid to be black, because it's an honor. Yeah. Thank y'all so much.
Utterly incredible. How y'all doing tonight? My name is Genesis. I am that guy's wife. I'm with him. Wow. All right, so this is actually a song. Don't be mad. And I've decided to label it Entity. They want our energy, want to steal our energy. Can't touch this energy, 'cause I'm an entity. They say my head's in the clouds, yeah, but my feet on the ground. And don't be mad about the fact that you're not touching my crown. They want a real one around, but they can't handle the truth. No, they can't handle the sound. They jump and reach for the crown, but they cannot touch the ground. I am the one, walk in the sun, you cannot shade me. Walk with the one, our time begun, you cannot play we. I am his baby, you can't persuade me, nah. Pride comes before a fall, and I'm scared of heights. So I'm clinging to my master with all my might. The lust of flesh be trying to flush us out. When that one fails, he tries with fear and doubt. You pass that test? Oh wow, you holy now. Better watch that pride, holier than thou. You back in check? Keep your eyes on him. False humility is gonna try to do you in. It's not designed for the weak at heart. This whole world's trying to rip you apart. But when the water rages, keep flipping pages. The script never changes. He rearranges our circumstance. I am the one, walk in the sun, you cannot shade me. Walk with the one, our time begun, you cannot play we. I am his baby, you can't persuade me, nah. Born a goddess, on my mama who's honest. Saw a light shine on her womb and made her a promise. Far from perfect, I was born into sin, but my master is worth it, so I'll be running to the mercy seat again and again. Gotta get my mind right, gotta get my life right. Sick of 2020 always being in the hindsight. This is our divine right. They want our energy, wanna steal our energy. Can't touch this energy, 'cause I'm an entity. Even if you could touch my hair, you can't reach my hair. It's an extension to the sun, and you can't meet me there.
Floescence, Genesis, thank you for opening your hearts and your minds and accepting what we have to say. Thank you. Peace, 1 equals 2.
Okay, thank y'all. Enjoy yourself a little bit. We're going to cue the film that's coming up shortly. Here's a small moment.